Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of You Chubbers. This is episode 4. So excited. I've been looking forward to chatting with my girls all month. I miss them. And if you are brand new and you do not know what a YouTuber is, basically it's a YouTuber on a weight loss journey. So we're chubby and we don't want to be chubby anymore. So that's pretty much what we are. And if you're new to my channel, that's basically what I do. And you will get to see what it's like being Jenny Marie. And you will see a lot of my daughter Leilani and a lot of randomness and a lot of weight loss related stuff. And I have 3 of my YouTubers joining me. Oh no, hold on. That was my bad, sorry. So I am going to go ahead and let the other ladies introduce themselves so you can get familiar with them and we will jump right in. So ladies, go right ahead and introduce yourself.
Go ahead, Pepper. I think you were first.
Oh, it was actually you, but that's okay. I am Pepper. I am on youtube.com/pepperstrap, and I started my weight loss journey about 2011, and I lost about 80 pounds, but I'm now about minus 60 pounds. So still working on it and just maintaining. So.
That's awesome. We're glad you're here. This is Pepper's first hangout with us, so we're really glad she's here.
And I'm Kara, and you can find me on YouTube at Kara's Quick Tips. And I have obviously been on a weight loss journey for a while, but I'd say I recommitted this year at the beginning of the year and have been doing the 21-day fix from Beachbody and really enjoying that. So.
Yay. We're glad you're here too. This is her second hangout with us.
Yay. Hi, I'm Ashley from the Eagle's Nest, and on my channel I like to talk about all things mommy. I'll talk about anything from cloth diapers to makeup and everything in between. I feel like I've probably been on a weight loss journey since I got married, but more recently since I have my daughter who is going to be 2 next month.
Wow, I can't believe that. Time flies. How old, Pepper, I know you have 2 boys, and Kira, you have 1 little girl. How old is everyone else's kids?
I have a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old boy. So, and they're both actually just on the cusp of it. So.
Wow. And I bet you probably still feel like they're your little tiny babies, huh?
Yeah.
How old's Ellie, Kira?
She's 20 months, so she'll be 2 in June, which I can't believe.
Wow.
Yeah, it's gone by way too fast.
Is she already trying to talk and, like, run the house?
Oh, totally.
I know that Ashley's little 2-year-old is, or her almost 2-year-old is. That little girl is a trip. So,
she has all of us wrapped around her finger, including her brother. So.
Yeah, totally. Ashley and I, Pepper, I don't know if you know this, but Ashley and I, when I first started doing these hangouts, it was basically for selfish purposes, because I needed a reason to stay accountable and to have people look to me to be like, hey, are you still sticking to what you said you were going to stick to? So basically, cold turkey, I quit Coke because, not like cocaine, but like soda. Because I was so addicted to it. That's funny. It was so horrible, but anywho. So, okay, back to my story. So I put out this call. We all know each other. If you guys watching are not familiar, we all know each other from a group on Facebook. We all just kind of found each other and became friends. And when I was asking everybody about their time zones, Ashley and I are in the same time zone. And then we kind of like started to pinpoint where we live and like how close we are to each other. And we are literally like 15 minutes away from each other, which is so bizarre. And it's just been awesome because we've been able to get our kids together and play. And it's so fun to see people in real life that you follow on videos, because it's like, oh my gosh, I got to admit I was a little starstruck when I met Ashley, but now I'm cool like her, so whatever. I'm not starstruck anymore.
You were the first person I met from YouTube too. I was super nervous, but it was really cool. It made it seem so much more real. Like when I think about the idea of like eventually going, maybe one day, going to like, like Playlist Live or like a conference or something and like actually meeting people face to face.
Yeah.
I think actually our group on Facebook is supposed to be doing a meetup this spring, like soon. And like meeting people face to face, it's so surreal. Like after having met someone, it makes me less nervous, but like more excited at the same time.
Right. You are exactly as you are in your videos. Like there is no faking it. Like if you guys were to ever meet Ashley in person, she is the exact same in person as she is on her videos. So was I everything you dreamed of and more?
Yeah, you were exactly the same. I feel like people always look like either like taller or shorter in their videos, and I thought you would be taller. No offense. You make me feel very tall, and I'm not tall at all.
And to me, you're a giant. I'm only like 5 foot.
I'm like the shortest person in my family, so like I feel like I'm like so tall.
You're not. We all went to the aquarium here, and I bought one of the pictures of all of us little moms and our little kids, and she's like up here, and then all of us are like down here. Anyway, they don't care about how tall we are, so I am glad that we are all here. Thanks again for taking your time, ladies, to meet with us, and for everybody watching, thank you for being here. And like we had mentioned before in the little sneak peeks and the spoilers, we are here to give you guys free weight loss advice and motivation, and we want to keep you guys encouraged, and I want you to feel supported. I feel like, so much of the problem is that we feel like we're in this alone. So we'll be your friends. We'll be here to motivate you and kick you in the pants when you need it. And we do this every month here on my channel. We're going to switch it up a little bit, I think, next month. We're going to switch the time, maybe do a hop on somebody else's channel, because I know we've got some friends in Australia. Jen from Jen and Zoe. Hey, Jenny. I know she wants to join us, but with the time difference and everything, that's going to, depend on, whatever. So, you know what I'm trying to say. So, let's get to the nitty-gritty. I know we kind of touched a little bit on it, but what started you guys on your journey? Like, what was y'all's aha moment? Like, all right, this is it. This is enough. I need to make some changes. What was your final straw moment?
Okay, I'll go first just to start it off. For me, my original aha moment, because, so when I first got married, shortly before that time, like after graduating high school and everything like that, stopped playing sports, stopped like being as active, and I had to sit down at desk job, and I was in front of a computer all day. Started putting on a lot of weight. Like, didn't even see it coming until I sat down on the curb and ripped my pants one day. Like, not even kidding. Stretchy jeans only stretch so far, let me just say. But even then, it was more along the lines of, oh, well, I'll eat lean cuisines, or I'll do this, or I'll go to the gym. But it was never anything consistent, never anything that was like a plan. It was just like what I thought I was supposed to do to lose weight, and just like reduce my calories and do this and that. But the big moment where I really said, like, enough is enough, was when I was pregnant with my son, and I didn't want to go over 200 pounds, and just barely creeping into the third trimester with him, I reached 200 pounds and still had, 3 months to go. And I was so uncomfortable, and I was so unhealthy, and like I really wanted to start working out at that point, but I felt like I was like in a place where it wasn't a good idea. I don't know. So at that point in time, I kind of just felt like if I wanted to have more kids, I needed to make changes so that I was more comfortable afterwards or during, whatever. So that's what I did. That was what my big motivation was for losing weight in between Aiden and Averly.
Yeah. It's like once you become a mom, it's like you forget who you are and you forget that we have to focus on ourselves and take care of ourselves too. And it's like you
Yeah,
kind of need that little smack in the face to be like, hey, you got to take care of yourself too, or who's going to be here for your kids?
for real.
Yeah.
And I also would just think about it. I know this is like not the best celebrity influence in the world, but I remember reading something that Kourtney Kardashian had said about her kind of like huge lifestyle change that she made after having her first child, about how like if I don't want my kid to eat this, why am I going to eat it? And like I'm so incredibly like picky about what my kids eat that it just really that whole mindset kind of changed my relationship with food in a big way.
Yeah, because you watch labels really well with your kids, don't you?
I try to. I would say that whoa, my computer just fell off the pillow. I would say that I probably read more product labels like on things like lotions and things like that. But I do, yeah, I do. I read labels, but it really has a pecan allergy, so that's kind of why as well.
Yeah, that's rough. But I mean, it's good in a sense because think of how aware you've gotten since then. You would have
Yeah,
never cared before.
I feel good about it. I really had to go through a really long process of educating myself. I'm a researchaholic, so I like have to read everything, and I really like to find science-based, like evidence-based research and unbiased stuff like that. Reading both sides, really like gathering things in, and really understanding what things are on like the front of the box, like 100% whole grain or excellent source of fiber or whatever, and what those actually mean versus what it says on the nutrition label and things like that.
Which is what? It's different?
Well, okay, so a product can have like a very not amazing amount of fiber in it to say this is a good source of fiber or this is a great source of fiber, but there's a certain amount of grams of fiber per serving that it has to say for it to be like an excellent source of fiber. But they can also make their serving size larger so that it looks like it has more fiber per serving. Like it's just very tricky. It's so hard to explain. I don't even know if I'm making sense right now, but there's just the way
No,
things are regulated. It's just companies are so easily able to manipulate things, and like if so many ingredients say or are organic in a product, it doesn't mean everything in that product is organic. It might just mean that a couple of the main ingredients are organic. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
that
I
sugar-free,
totally get what you're saying.
there's an artificial sweetener in there somewhere. So just being conscious of those things.
Wow. That is
Like
interesting. You don't ever think of that.
a big one right now that I've been noticing that's been driving me crazy is the cereals that say they're high protein, but they're counting the milk as part of the protein. There's one that
No
actually
way.
says on it that it's 11 grams of protein with milk in small
Yeah.
type right underneath of it. And
Yeah.
I've seen a granola that says it's high in protein, and I flipped it over, and it's not. When you compare calories to, like, because I use proportions when I choose things. So I need, like, when I want to do high protein, I want, like, say, 100 calories for me, I want to have 10 grams of protein in it.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
they're missing that proportion because they have 10 grams of protein, but they have 300 calories per cup.
How is that even legal?
Well, and I actually just went to a really cool talk, and a lot of these companies do get in trouble for it. There was one company that the speaker was talking about that they had point something percent pomegranate juice in their juice, and they were calling it blueberry pomegranate juice. It was like 99% grape juice, and they did get sued for it. They got sued by the big pomegranate juice people, so it does happen. And I mean, it even goes to extremes where Trader Joe's got sued for their milk had cows in a pasture in the picture, and somebody sued them because they said it portrays that it's, the cows that the milk's from live in pastures, so it was free-range milk.
I mean, in regards to Trader Joe's, that's one of like the very few places I feel like I can go to and know that a good 95% of what I'm going to put in my cart is like legit. Not, even the dog treats that we get there, I flip the labels, I flip around and read the nutrition labels, and it's like real food that's in there, not a whole bunch of like chemical-y stuff. Like, I just want to be able to pronounce the ingredients. I don't want there to be 20 different ingredients in something that I'm eating. But yeah, even the trainer wanted us to use like cut up hot dogs for her training, and I was like, no, we can't give the dog hot dogs. I don't feed my kid hot dogs. I don't eat hot dogs. No judgment if anybody like feeds their kids hot dogs. I just don't like them. Like, I was like, no, we can't get the dog hot dogs. So I like went to Trader Joe's and found like these treats for her that she loves. They're like doggy crack, but
That's hilarious. Oh, Ashley. That's why I love you. I'm so glad you're here, Ashley. I know we kind of got off on a tangent, and that's kind of my fault, but Kara and Pepper, I want to hear y'all's moments, too. Like, what was your moment?
Yeah, well, I'm kind of like Ashley. It was the same thing. There's something about 200, right? Like, I feel like I watch Biggest Loser, and it's like Wonderland. So when I was pregnant, I went over 200, and actually that wasn't my aha moment, because afterwards I was nursing. I'll just say the numbers or whatever. So then I got down to like 185, and I was so happy. And then I'm not kidding you, I slowly gained back up to like 199, like I almost hit 200 again. And then that was my aha moment, like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? My body naturally got me down while I was nursing, and then I'm doing it to myself. So that was my big aha moment, and said, okay, I've got to, control my portions and just eat right, quit eating the crap. So
I think that's such a huge thing. Once those first few weeks that you're on like a lifestyle change or a weight loss plan, and you actually start measuring out your portions, you're like, how was I eating all that? It like, you think about like, oh, I only get to have a cup of pasta, and then you put a cup of pasta in your bowl, and you're like, that's a lot. Like, how much was I eating before?
Yeah, I can eat an insane amount. I realize this has been so good for me to get my portions back in check. And it's so true. If you drink your water, if you fill up on your veggies, and then eat your portion of pasta or whatever it is, you are full. You are satisfied. So anyway, so that was my aha moment.
That is so true. Not to get off on another tangent, but that's what I'm really good at. But I'm doing the same thing that Kara's doing with the watching the portions and stuff. But it's like when I would cook food, even when it was just my husband and I, before we had Leilani and it was just us two living together, I would make huge meals, because it was like, there's no way a little tiny, whatever I'm making is going to be enough for us. Like, we're going to be hungry. And then it was we have these huge dinner plates, so it's like we try to fill these dinner plates to make our eyes, it's like visually appealing to us. Our eyes are what tells us we're hungry. So it's like, here we have these huge dinner plates, we're filling it with all this junk. I mean, we got like a schlop of mashed potatoes, we got a thing of corn, it was ridiculous. And like, even now, like when I'm watching my portions, I feel like, dude, that's not going to fill me up. This little bit and this little bit, there's no way. And then I'm like halfway through and I'm like, oh my God. I got to keep going. I'm going to eat it. It's so mental. All of this is so much in our heads. It's ridiculous.
It so is. They even talk about like buying smaller plates so that you like are like mentally thinking that you're eating more. But I mean, we were the same way. Literally, we used to split a box of Hamburger Helper. And if you think about the fact that we were sharing a box of Hamburger Helper, okay, that's like we were both eating like all this pasta, all this nastiness, and like half a pound of meat. Half a pound, I mean, it was ground chicken, so I thought it was okay, but no, like that's not, like, and if we had pasta, it'd be pasta with sauce and chicken sausage and bread and this and that, and now I'm just like, no wonder.
Yeah. Because it's like you wanna have a nice sized dinner meal, but then it's like, oh, but it's gonna be delicious, and I wanna have some for lunch for tomorrow. I wanna have enough for leftovers, but then it's like you get it and it's done. It's like, dang, that was good. I'm gonna get some more, and it's like you just eat it all. It's awful. Another tangent. Anywho, Pepper, on to you, baby.
So same thing. It was my kids. I mean, my kids were actually my starting point. Like, I found that we have a 2-story house, and I found that going up and down the stairs with my 2-year-old and my baby, I was like huffing and puffing, and I was like, that is just not going to happen, because I was like, once the second one's running around, I'm not going to be able to keep up. And so, I decided I need to make a big difference, and I think I started in like November of 2011. I didn't make big changes, but then that January I was just like, I have to do something, and so I really started working on it, and started researching it. I actually have a lap band, so I had weight loss surgery, but I actually lost most of my weight before the surgery even, and I have my lap band more as a help to remind me, like, everything I've gone through, to like, I need to keep going. So, but I also had a nutritionist available to me for 6 months, and that made a big difference too, just having that accountability of, and looking at those portions. Those portions are pretty amazing. So, and we did the hamburger helper thing too, where we had like split the hamburger helper.
And it's funny that you mentioned you went to a nutritionist, because I had done that before too. I went a couple of years ago because I just happened to be looking at like my summary of benefits for my insurance. Someone was talking about it or whatever, so I just happened to see that my insurance would cover a visit to a nutritionist. And I was like, oh snap, let me go there. So I went, I found one, and we got to talking. She was very informative, had great information. But then it was like I left and I'm like, all she told me was everything I already know. Like, she told me about the food group. She told me how much I needed to eat of this and that. And I'm like, well, I want her to tell me what to eat. Like, for breakfast, you need to eat this, this, and this. Like, that's what I felt like I needed. So I'm glad that it worked for you, for those 6 months, because it's really important to know that stuff.
They do like a whole system of that. So like I had to go to education for it, and so I had to see the nutritionist monthly and go in for monthly weigh-ins. So
that was part of the surgery. That was one of the requirements.
Yes, my insurance required a 6-month whole weight loss system thing. So, and I started out about 280. I think it was 275 was my highest weight, and even when I had the surgery, the doctor told me, hey, you're only going to lose like 10%. And they laughed at me because I was the healthiest person in that office. Like, the only thing I had was sleep apnea. And they're like, you are the healthiest person coming into this office. And, so for me, and a lot of people who have lap band, it fails for them because actually, honestly, it's all mental. Because that does not do anything for you except for give you a mental reminder. I have to eat smaller portions, and I have to eat slowly. And if I don't, I get a little bit of a punishment, but it's not that severe of a punishment.
I really think that too many people who are not educated about lap band or gastric bypass or any sort of weight loss surgery, if they're not educated on it, they really just think oh well, that was a quick fix or whatever. But there's so much work that goes behind that. I know someone who had lap band, and I know someone who had gastric bypass, and it's a really serious commitment, especially the gastric bypass. Like, it's a lifelong commitment that she has had to make for herself. Like, she has to eat like certain ways and take a multivitamin because her stomach is so small. The way it absorbs nutrients is different and everything like that. Like, it changes your body forever. It is a serious commitment. No.
Yeah, and I don't even share it very often because people look at it from the outside as an easy out, you know? So for me, it's kind of hard to tell people, hey, I had lap band surgery, because they don't understand the behind the scenes of it. It is very severe, you know, the stuff that you have to go through. And even that nutritionist, I finally did finish with them because she wanted me to go down to 1,000 calories, and I was not comfortable with that.
It's not even
Way, wow.
And a lot of people who do gastric bypass and stuff are on doctor orders to go down below 1,000 calories.
That is
crazy.
too much.
Because their bodies have gone to such a severe heaviness, too. Because once you start gaining weight, your hormones start getting completely off whack, you know? So when you are at a severe weight like that, your body will start fighting it and constantly wanting to go back to it, and it uses hormones to do it. So, you know, even though I'm still at the diet that they're recommending, I still gained weight, and I still, you know. But because I kept so much of it off for so long, because I mean, it's been, what, 4 years? My body now is settling at 215 instead of the 275. You know, I mean, there's benefit, but then, I mean, you still have to fight. It's a constant battle.
Was your body losing weight faster than your mind could process it?
No, because I mean, it took me 6 months to lose 50 pounds. So, I mean, if you think about that, that's not, the only time I did, okay, so I did lose 20 pounds in about a month and a half in Christmas time. But that was because when you do have the surgery, you have to go on a liquid diet.
Wow.
So I was on a liquid diet through Thanksgiving. I think Thanksgiving was my first day that I was allowed to have mushy food. and then you're on mushy food for the month. And then they start doing the fills for you. So that's a yearly process too, where I still was having to go in every month, having to have a fill, so they make my band tighter around everything, and they fill it, and then they send you out, and you go out for a month, and they try to find that balance for you where your body realizes that you can eat that smaller portion and still not be hungry and stuff. And then the severity is if you get too tight, you just can't process food. You can't get it down. So they try to find that balance. And so I did that for a year. And every time they fill it, you had to go on a liquid diet again.
How's that going to affect if you get pregnant again?
That's actually why I chose lap band over gastric bypass. Gastric bypass, most people actually end up getting pregnant afterwards, because a lot of people who look at this option, one of the reasons they're looking at it is because they can't have kids. So a lot of people get pregnant afterwards. That was one of the things that we hadn't decided if we were done. And so when I looked at all the options, that you have to be careful with gastric bypass, and you know, as far as like the other processes, because they're taking away your stomach, you're not absorbing your vitamins. So like she said, that lady has to take a vitamin every day. So when you do that, your baby's not getting as many vitamins either. Whereas my lap band, I still have everything. It just slows the process down, and then what it's doing is it's actually wrapped around my vagus nerve. So when I eat, it stops on the lap band where the vagus nerve is, which that's the nerve that tells your body you're full to your brain. And so then it passes down into my stomach. So I still have my whole stomach to soak up all the vitamins and stuff.
Wow.
So.
Both of the people that I know have had it, the one who had gastric bypass, she had 2 babies. Afterwards, she had 1 and then had 2 after, and then I know the one who had the lap band had 1 child afterwards. But I totally get why it's more of a higher risk situation.
Yeah, they'll consider you high risk if you're.
Yeah, and she was considered high risk. I didn't know that was the reason why, but yeah, I remember her saying she was considered high risk.
Well, even when you're heavy enough to do gastric bypass, you have a lot of other issues too that can lead to being high risk, like PCOS and.
Yeah, when I knew her, I mean, I still know her, but when I met her, she was actually maybe 145 pounds. She had lost so much weight. She lost over 100 pounds, and she's kept it all off for the most part. But then I would say, not knowing actual numbers, but by looking at her, I would say within 10, 15 pounds, that's kind of where she stays after having 2 additional kids after. I don't know. She's done really well. She takes it really seriously, though. I mean, you have to.
You have to. It's
Yeah.
pretty severe. Some people don't, and they have to have revisions. I mean, and stuff. There's still people who fail on all of the surgeries, which is scary because if you do the major surgeries, failure is pretty scary. So.
I would be really mad with myself. If I would have gone through all of that and then I don't know, can you fall off the wagon with that? Can you,
Oh, yeah. Oh. You learn to eat around it. So, I've actually learned how to eat around my band. And see, I'm kind of stuck in this middle ground. So, because I only have the band, I'm not, I don't fit in the weight loss surgery groups because they're usually, severe stuff. And I don't exactly fit in the full weight loss people. But, I've learned to eat around my band, and that's why a lot of people fail with it. You learn that you can eat mushy food, which means you can eat ice cream. You can eat liquid, and you can drink liquid. I'm not supposed to have soda. A lot of people push it and have soda. And people do it severe in the States in weight loss, too. You can make your band so tight that you can only get liquid fast. And I've heard of people who do that, which mine's a little loose. So I can still eat some of the things that I'm not supposed to, but I've taught myself just not to do it.
What kind of scarring do you have from that?
If you have it too tight, you will get scarring. Like I said, I have mine very loose. So okay, so when I eat something that I'm not supposed to, basically they call it stuck. So it gets stuck right where your band is, and so it's sitting on your esophagus area, right? And that can cause scarring. So they say if you keep getting stuck, then you need to stop. You need to get it loosened because you can cause damage. But as long as you're not getting stuck all the time, then you're not going to have damage.
That just sounds, that sounds painful.
Oh yeah, if you get stuck, you're I got stuck eating carrots. So I was really, carrots? I'm slowly trying to get back to eating carrots because I got stuck so bad that I was terrified to eat carrots for a year.
Yeah, I don't blame you for that at all.
Because it's an hour process if you get stuck.
So
it just gets worse and worse and worse.
I know we're kind of off on a totally different subject now, but I'm kind of curious as to how do they tighten it and loosen it?
I have a port in my stomach.
Okay.
It's right below my rib cage.
Okay.
They did the whole surgery laparoscopic. That was another reason I wanted to do it.
Okay.
So they do it all laparoscopic, and I have a port, and basically they feel for it. They use a syringe of saline, and they push it in, and it has a tube that goes up through all my stuff. It actually goes through where your abs and everything, what's the part that helps you breathe? I'm forgetting the word.
Diaphragm?
Diaphragm. So it goes actually through my diaphragm, which has actually caused me problems. And then it goes up into your esophagus, so it's about here for me. I can feel it when I get stuck or something, or if I eat rice or something I'm not supposed to. And it tightens that tube, that little bubble thing that's around there.
Okay. Can you not eat rice because of how it expands or something?
Yeah, it's actually very dangerous for me to eat rice because you eat it and then it expands.
Yeah.
And I'm not supposed to eat pasta, but I can. I basically, if I measure it, I'm good because I know how much I can eat.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that's eating around it, right? Like, I've learned
Yeah.
how much I can eat.
But it just also goes back to like a show like your own personal like dedication and everything like that, and that like okay, you may know that you can do something, but you know, like it is like such a mental thing. I don't know. I have a lot of respect for you
I
for
agree, and I
being open
appreciate you
about it and
sharing
everything.
that. You didn't even hear us telling you all that nice stuff.
Sorry, my kids are screaming at each other. My husband works nights, so they're up there by themselves.
Oh no.
And we've been sick for 2 weeks, so everybody's a little stir crazy.
This winter has just been brutal. So I know we've got some viewers. I have a comment here from Mandy. She's watching. Hey Mandy, so excited to be here. You guys keep me revved up to stay on this healthy lifestyle. I've been slacking lately, but after tonight, I know I need to get on it. Yeah, girl.
Go, Mandy.
Woo! Yay, Mandy. She's going to join us one of these days. I'm going to get her on here. Carrie, that's going to be our goal, to get
Yeah.
her with us. And I know
Yeah.
Amy from Dreamflight 6000 commented, but it went away. Is it showing up for you guys?
No.
It's not showing up anything. Nothing's showing up in my comment tracker. I might have put it in wrong though.
Oh, Tanisha just messaged us. Tanisha, if you guys have watched before, she's one of our regulars too. She's been with us from the beginning, but I know that she's had some technical difficulties tonight. She just messaged and said, sorry, I couldn't join you tonight. Miss you, Tanisha.
Miss you.
Yeah. Hopefully next time we'll get it all together. Leilani was a hot mess. I'm trying to get her on a better schedule and like a better sleep schedule because I need to be on a better sleep schedule. And Daniel put her to sleep and she was just fighting it, and I could just hear her screaming, "Mommy, mommy!" I was like, I gotta do my hangout. So let us move along. I know we're getting close to our hour, so I don't want you guys to go over. I appreciate y'all taking time out to do this with me. But one of the things I wanted to kind of talk with you guys about, I know that we kind of have each other and we have Facebook and other moms on YouTube, but who do you turn to outside of, the internet, from the cyber world? Like, do you have people in your day-to-day lives that know what you're doing, know what you're going through, and are here with you and support you and encourage you?
Yeah, you know what? I would say I was thinking about this, and for me, it's my husband. It's like he keeps me honest, and because just my weakness is if there's something bad in the house, like I will eat it all, and so and but when you share something, he's like, where did it go? So I don't know. Just I think obviously my mom and other people, but yeah, I think my husband has been the most important person in this journey because I don't know. I keep going back to The Biggest Loser. I love that show, but like a theme that I've seen there is like the couples don't talk. They it's the big elephant in the room about the wife's weight, right? So yeah, I don't know. My husband and I are just open about it, and I'm always talking about it, and he's kind of keeping me accountable. So I would say my hubby's been a great partner.
Now, what kind of shape is he in? Is he healthy and fit, or?
He is, he had we are opposites. When we got married almost 10 years ago, he was very, very skinny. So his journey has been to gain healthy weight, whereas mine has been to lose it. So yeah, when we got married, he was probably, I'm not kidding you, probably 135 pounds at 6'1". And
Wow.
now he's like a great, he works out and he's buff to me, he's a healthy 185. So now we're like, okay, we're like ready about to cross. And so we're like, okay, we're going to do this. This is our year for crossing and I will weigh less than you. So anyway, yeah.
That's awesome. What about, Ashley, I know your husband's in the military, so he's in good shape. Is he who you turn to?
He is a lot of the time. Like Kara, we also have spent a lot of time where I weighed more than him. Um, I mean, especially I think the biggest contrast was when I had just had Aiden, and he had just come home from his second deployment, and it was to Afghanistan, and he came home at like, hey, my husband's 5'11", and now this doesn't sound nearly as extreme that Kara said her husband was 6'1" and was 135, but he came home from his second deployment at like 160, 165, which was lower than even what he was in boot camp. And I was like, literally had just, I mean, I had just had a baby, but I was like 195, like right after having my son. So that was like the biggest like contrast. I mean, granted, we both had total reasons for being in the weight categories that we are, but 180 to 185 is like a healthy goal for him. And going to the gym is such a huge like mental thing for him. Like it's like his time, and it's how he really like copes with stress and so many other things. So it's a really big thing. He doesn't do as much as he used to. He used to be able to just go out and run 10 to 15 miles on a whim, just for fun, because he was stressed out and that's how he wanted to deal with it. His, I don't know, they've started like checking his feet, so he's got like arthritis in his feet and like all this stuff, because the military is really hard on your body. So he has like it's hair in his shoulder, so he can't do like any upper body workout that goes above your head. And he was a swimmer for like his whole life, and now he can't really do those. So that's frustrating for him, but we're kind of like figuring out together. And we really, really want to try that couples yoga challenge. We're really thinking that looks super, super fun.
That does look fun. I know, who have you seen? Here goes another tangent, guys. Who have you seen that was the most entertaining to you? Do it. Do you guys know what she's talking about? Okay, tell everybody.
But I haven't seen any.
All right, Ashley, give everyone a rundown.
Okay, so what it is, oh my gosh, I mean, there are so many different levels and so many different reasons for entertainment. And there was so many couples have done it. I'll just rattle off 3 that I can think of at the top of my head. Ellie and Jared did it. They're daily vloggers, and they were like super intense, but they're both like in really amazing shape. So they were like planking off one another. It was crazy. I loved Baby Belly Kelly's one, just because they looked like they were having seriously so much fun. I mean, she even posted like little things on Instagram, just like little 5-second videos of them just trying to transition, and they just looked like they were having a blast. And also the Schmoyers did it as well. So I really like theirs. Those are like the 3 that really like stood out the most in my mind.
So when are you gonna post yours?
Oh, I didn't know we were supposed to film it.
I mean, if it's PG, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know. He'll probably, I don't know. We have a couple of videos we want to make together, so maybe we'll film it.
That is awesome. I hope you do. You need to. That'll be your goal for the next month.
How about for the next week? Because my butt, see, like, this is where we kind of cross over and, like, are able to support each other, because I've got the eating down. And he's got the, like, consistent exercise down. Now we just need to, like, help each other. Like, that's, you know, we have different strengths. So we just need to help each other with the motivation on the other side, and we'll, like, come full circle, and it'll be great.
Yeah. Pepper, I think you had stepped away, but we're just kind of talking about who our support, where we get it from when we're not, you know, on Facebook or on the internet or anything, like who we turn to.
I actually am in the middle of looking for support, because like my husband right now is doing school and work, and he has a back injury, so he's kind of stepped aside from doing the whole thing. Last year he was really big. He actually made a big choice of doing it because he's normal weight. He had a knee injury at one point, so that brought him up a little bit, but he's like one of those people who can eat anything and everything. So, I mean, he's very supportive in the sense that, you know, he lets me cook these really strange meals and he tries them, and he eats like 4 times the amount that I do, but right now that's hard because he's not even home a lot of the time. So, like I said, I'm kind of in the middle of searching for somebody or a group or something.
Do you do your workouts at home, or how do you do that? Like, would your kids do it with you?
They used to. That was actually a really big aha moment for me, going beyond of just I want to lose weight, was when I realized that it was going to make the biggest difference in their life, was when I was doing yoga, and I don't remember if it was Zane or Zarek started doing it with me, so they were like doing, the down facing dog and things like that, which, it was just, I was like, oh my gosh, look at them, and I realized, wow, this is going to make the biggest difference, and so, I don't remember what your question was.
I just asked where you got, your support when you weren't
Oh, and you
on
were
the
asking about
internet.
like my workouts and stuff. So now
Yeah.
this is my first year of having both kids in school, so I'm actually learning a whole new routine also. Like I don't have them here the whole time, which actually I found is completely different because now I have to remind myself to eat. I go to the point I'm like, oh wait, they're coming home in like 5 minutes and I haven't eaten today because I had them on a schedule and now I don't have their schedule anymore. Um, So, and I'm actually in the process of bringing workouts back into everything. So I don't enjoy working out.
You got
That's
this.
not, that's my hardest thing.
You're a YouTuber now. You've got us.
So, but I am bringing back. So I got my bike unburied and from our bedroom, and so I'm doing my bike every morning. I started this morning. I started slow though. I'm gonna build my time up. So I want to try and do my bike in the morning, and I live in Oregon, so it's constantly raining here, so walking outside is not always an option. We do family walks. We go places like the mall or IKEA where you can walk, and so we do that to get out of the rain and get moving and stuff.
Yeah, that's
So,
a good idea.
A great
yeah,
idea.
that's like my big tip. Like, if you live in a place where the weather is severe, find out where else you can go. And if you have kids, or if you don't have money to like go to a gym or something, figure out like you can go to the mall. Our local mall is actually been measured, so you know that if you go around it twice, it's a mile. Um, and then IKEA has childcare,
No
so
way.
yeah, they have childcare. They have 1 hour of childcare, so you can shove them in there, and then I don't, who knows how long of that walk that is, but as long as you keep up speed, you're doing pretty good. So, but because they have you like going, all over that store like crazy. So if you're doing like counting steps and stuff, find the places that you can go that are free and temperature controlled and things like that.
That's
I
a
would
great
even,
tip.
sorry, Jenny. I would
No.
even say that, like, if you're counting steps, you don't even necessarily have to get them all in, like, one big stretch. You can do, like, I'm gonna get up and, walk, each room or whatever, or go up and down the stairs between commercials, watching a show or something. Like, so that way you're still getting movement, you're still getting those steps, and at the end of the day, your number is, I mean, it is recommended that you get 30 minutes to an hour of, like, consistent elevated heart rate. But at the same time, activity is activity. And if you're starting out from not doing a whole lot to, working out again, sometimes doing it in those small bites makes it feel less like working out and, smaller goals. I don't know. Those work for me. I love the idea of family activity. That's like a huge thing in my mind right now. I actually want to try geo-trekking in like the spring. It seems so fun. I want to try it. We have so many parks around here, though, that are, I mean, amazing. And I like to go walk the steps. Eventually, I'd like to be able to run them, but I like to go walk the steps at a park that's not too far from us. But, like, seriously, it's so hard. They're so steep. And Aiden likes to go on them with me, but, like, we go up them once or twice, and he's like, okay, Mommy, I'm done.
Yeah, we actually started geocaching this summer. It was like something that I forget why I decided to do it, but oh my gosh, it is so much fun. And you find so many neat new places. Like if you're looking for places to go and like have fun as a family,
Yeah.
it's definitely, or even, and it also fits into other activities. Like we went to the fish hatchery here, and we're like, hey, we're here. Why don't we see if there's geocache here? And they had like dozens in the area. I mean, it was like the actual fish hatchery had actually placed them.
Oh, that's
So,
cool.
Awesome. Yeah.
yeah. And
I
all
don't
you
think-
need is the app.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't remember why I even looked it up, but I found the app once on my phone, and there were like so many places around my neighborhood and like in the shopping centers near me, and I was like, holy cow. The only thing is, Leilani is so little, and it's so annoying to get a toddler in and out of the car seat. So sometimes when the weather's nice, we like to, have her with somebody else, and we'll just do it as a date. But that is a great tip to go do that. Little treasure hunt for adults.
Yeah, doing it as a date is like a freaking amazing idea. That's so much better. I mean, because like if you go to the gym, I know that if I'm in the gym and I'm like getting an intense workout, I need to have music on or something, and then I'm not focusing on him and like the time that we're spending together. Like that would be a really great date.
Yeah. And free.
Yeah.
And sometimes you find, like, we went to this one park and we trekked that thing left and right, and we never did find the thing. But you end up probably getting a 1,000 steps just trying to find something, and you may not end up finding it. That is the one thing about geocache. If you have younger kids before you start it, is just let them know you may not find it. But then you just make sure you have a few planned. If you have a few planned, you'll at least find one.
And just think of like, so many areas that you discover. Like I've lived in this area my whole life. The same 3-mile little bubble. I've lived here my whole life. But it was at the end of last summer. We went geocaching and we found like this hidden spot on the water. And I was like, I didn't even know this water was here. Like this is ridiculous. But yeah, geocaching. If y'all don't know what it is, I'll put it in the description box so y'all can look it up. It's amazing. It's a blast.
I'll send you a link to a podcast that I listened to about it that has like so much information. It was really, really good.
Ooh, I love podcasts.
Yes.
So,
Are you okay if I read a couple tweets from Mandy?
please.
Okay. Mandy says, I go to the gym or the mall to walk during winter months. I can't wait for spring to walk outside.
Yes.
And she says, I have some close friends who are going through similar journeys with me and help me to stay accountable. Awesome, Mandy.
Yay. Mandy, I think, has just nominated herself for our Twitter person.
Yeah, I think she's the only one on there. Way to go, Mandy. We love you.
Yay, Mandy. Angela has commented in the video. She's watching. Wow, I'm learning so much about Pepper. I love it. I know Pepper's so quiet and so behind the scenes all the time, but then when she speaks, it's like, wow. She's got a great name and she's got great stuff to say.
Yes, I know.
That
I
is her
love her
real
name.
name, ladies and gentlemen. That's on her birth certificate.
Yeah.
I love her name and her hair. It's fabulous.
That's what attracted me, I think, to Pepper and her personality was, I think one of my very first videos I saw of Pepper was a speed clean of her office. I guess it's the room you're in now. And I just loved your hair. It was like, I think it was more purpley than it is now. But it was like,
it kind of changes.
and you and your husband kept taking breaks to kiss and hug. And I was like, you're the cutest.
He was leaving for work, so I had to say goodbye, and so I was like, oh, and it was cute. I was like, and he hates the camera.
My husband's like that too.
My husband hated the camera for the longest time. He he did not want to have his face on videos like at all. So if I filmed a day in the life, they would be like morning in the lives. And when he would come home, I would show like his boots or whatever, like of him walking in the door, but it could never be his face. Maybe his voice in the background. Like that was it.
But let me just say, he's come around because she has a video on her channel, a makeup challenge, and she did his makeup, and he was staring at himself in the viewfinder like, oh, I look good.
See, him being shy, like from the camera, is so out of his personality because I am the shy, reserved one, and he is like so outgoing. He will be anyone's friend. He will meet someone in person instantly. Like, he has no problems going up and talking to strangers, like nothing whatsoever. Like, he's just Mr. Friendly Man.
So here's completely off topic. Do y'all's family and friends know that you YouTube? And
I would say,
So, funny story.
you've got a
Okay,
big following too, Ashley.
I mean, no.
I just have like 1,000 subscribers. It's cool.
Okay, so I actually sent the link to both of my channels to my best friend today, and like it made her cry. She didn't know I was doing them. I've been doing them for so long, and like I've known her since 19, so it's been a while. But she lives in Washington State, and I sent her the link. She actually recently started a recipe page on Facebook, and that kind of like gave me the courage to be like, here you go. You can watch it. And she was commenting on how I was like posting little Instagram videos of the kids. She was like, I love seeing the kids on videos. And I was like, well, here's the bajillion. Go have at it. But my mom, my sisters, my dad, my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, they all know.
How about you, lady?
because I've been a blogger for so long and so many people knew I was a blogger, and on top of that, like, I lost my job like 2 years ago, and so blogging became my business. So YouTube is actually a business thing for me. So everybody knows it because they're like, "What do you do?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm a blogger and I blog." And they're like, "What's that?"
How about you, Kara?
Yeah, my immediate family knows, obviously my husband, my mom, my sister. But yeah, I don't broadcast it. A couple times I've put some YouTube videos of Ellie on my personal Facebook, and if they were interested, I think it said something like click playlist, or it would keep playing and show the next video. So I'm sure some people know, it's not a secret, but yeah, I don't post it. I don't know why not.
Some people just don't want anybody else to realize it, I guess, And that's okay, but I am not that kind of person. I am like, hey, I have a YouTube channel, everybody. At first, I didn't want people to know because it was so stupid. My husband didn't even watch my first videos. I mean, it was like, I can't even explain it. He's like, it doesn't even sound like you. I can't even stand to hear you record yourself because you sound like a completely different person. And it's true. Like, when I look back at my originals, I was like, hey, everybody, it's Jenny. And, like, that's not me, guys. That's not me. But it's like, everybody knows. Like, everybody on Facebook knows. Everybody in church. I mean, we have a decent-sized church, and they all know. If I got my arm out like this, if you don't want to be in my video, you better back up. Because you're going to be on there.
Awesome. Jenny, one of my first videos I think that I watched of you was, I don't know, some crazy one, and you were making funny faces. And what? I don't know, maybe you're not like that, but I loved it, and I was told, like, who is this? I love this girl.
And that's so funny because in the beginning, like, I was all about editing. Like, I wanted to learn how to edit, and I wanted to be amazing, and, like, I would spend so much time on a blooper reel and everything. And, that's what I had on all of my videos in the beginning, and then all of a sudden I stopped making them, and someone was like, where's that part at the end where you're really funny? I'm like, but, yeah.
I was totally the opposite when I started. I didn't want to edit anything. So I would do like a one take of like this 25-minute epic long pregnancy vlog. Nobody wants to watch that.
Ashley, yours are funny though. I don't think you cut anything out, do you? You keep all
Yeah.
the good stuff. No, you don't. I don't think so.
Well, I've made it a goal the past like 2 years to make my videos like shorter. I try to keep them like bare minimum under 15 minutes, but if I can keep them under 10, that's good. So
Not
it's mostly
vlogs,
just me rambling about nonsense. It's not good stuff. I put the bloopers in the front sometimes. Sometimes I mix them in. Like if I'm doing like this is a favorites video and I'll like pick something up and like throw it across the room on accident or something like that, I'll like throw that in there. Sometimes I do like I don't know. I found that I've liked the editing a lot more since I actually started doing it and learning how to do it. But before it was just a pain in the butt. I didn't want to do it.
I feel like I've gotten away from the sit-down videos. Like, I used to always, like, be really good every Monday with my weekly weigh-in. And, like, I was so good about sticking to my schedule and staying on track of that. And it's just, life has gotten in the way, and I need to get back on YouTube and doing stuff, you know, sharing stuff with people.
In fairness to you, you're taking care of 3 children under, you know, two, and 6 months almost.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's about when I took my break from YouTube.
What's that?
I was going to say that's about when I took my break from YouTube, because I was going to say, how old is... Yeah, because when my kids were about that age, I was like, you can't sit down.
Yeah, no, and it's true. And like right now, my best friend Brooklyn, she's doing her internship until May, and so I'm doing childcare for her. And it's not that they're bad or that I have to like hold their hand all the time, but it's like I gotta make sure they don't catch his house on fire or something. Like these kids are crazy. Like they are self-sufficient, but it's like good grief, get off the dining room table already.
Oh my gosh.
Welcome to the multiple personalities.
And you know what's funny is we were so gung-ho about doing weekly, like weekend vlogs. We did like 2, and my husband was like, okay, I've made a decision. I'm ready to talk with you now. And I was like, oh about what? What's going on? He was like, I'm ready to vlog. And I'm like, what? Okay, let me go get the camera. So we decided to do weekend vlogs. And I've got like 3 weekends worth of stuff to edit, and I have not done it yet.
Do the couples 1, 2, 3 tag with him. I tag you.
Okay, but what is it?
The couples 1, 2, 3 tag. That was the first like sit down video my husband did with me. It's a mess, but like you answer questions like if your spouse could marry any movie star, who would it be? And you start off like you answer it for like
each other.
So you start off going like, okay, like if you're a husband, and then you both go 1, 2, 3, and you try to answer at the same time.
Oh, I like that.
Or not.
It's funny. It's funny. My husband said Betty White. Threw me off there. Yeah.
Hey, if Bradley Cooper would make out with her. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? For the come on. First, I didn't watch it, but I saw it after the fact. The Saturday Night Live 40th anniversary thing they just had, like
okay.
Bradley Cooper and her made out as a sketch or something.
That is so gross.
Y'all need to Google that.
Well, looks like Jennifer Lawrence has some competition because she's normally who he's making out with on screen.
Oh, I love her.
I do too. She's amazing.
We are so off topic.
And 8 minutes over our hour.
I know. I guess we should get back to the point of this whole thing. So, we are in the 2nd month of the year. We are almost over. We are quickly approaching spring. What are your short-term goals? Go.
Okay. My short-term goals are... my cousin is getting married at the end of May, and I would like to lose 20% of my body weight by then. So right now I'm at like 175. I round up to I'm going to lose 18 pounds by like the last weekend of May. And I particularly want to do that because I really like for formal events, instead of like having to buy a new dress every time, I like to use Rent the Runway. I really want to fit in something really, really nice.
Did you say Rent the Runway?
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
It is a like formal dress wear rental thing. I rented my ball dress from there this past year and had a really good experience. Like the one that I want, the one that I want to rent for my cousin's wedding is like Versace. And the one that I rented for the ball was um, Bagley Mishka, or however you pronounce that name or whatever. But I always remember that one from Sweet Home Alabama. Do you remember that movie? They talk about that designer in that movie. But I mean, freaking gorgeous dresses and really affordable.
You belong on the West Coast. Why are you on the East Coast? Just saying.
I just moved back to the East Coast like 2 years ago.
Girl, what are y'all's goals?
My mom's turning 60 and we're going to Disneyland in the beginning of May. So I want to make a weight goal, but I think just in general, I want to feel comfortable in my clothes. I want to feel thinner because usually when we go to Disneyland, I feel like a fat slug. And, so I just want to feel happy and look thin in the freaking pictures. That's all I want.
There is no feeling like fat slugs in the happiest place on earth.
That's true.
But you know what? I totally hear you on that. When I was losing weight before I got pregnant with Averly, and when I was pregnant with Averly, whenever we go and get character pictures, I'd have to dress super nice and make sure that I was standing just so that my baby bump was looking just right and I looked nice and thin. Some of the best bump shots I have. For real.
That's fun. That's a lot of fun.
We're going to go down in the history books.
For like ever.
I have pictures from, we went to Disney World my senior year, or the summer going into my senior year, and I felt huge at the time. But I look back, it was so hot, it was August, it was, the one in Florida, so it was like 1,000,000 degrees outside. I was walking around in shorts and a bikini top like I was awesome. And I was like, dang, if I were to do that now, Goofy would like go on break or something because he would not be interested.
You know what? We had a code word for some of the things that people were wearing at Disney World when we went over Christmas. Have you heard of the movie? I'm sure you have. The Incredibles?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Edna Mode, she designs all of the costumes or whatever. We're Disney nerds, like times 1,000. Okay, so whenever we'd see someone that was like a disaster, like, I mean, I can't even tell you some of the things that we saw, but some of them, so when we would see them, we'd say Edna Mode.
Oh, I would totally have been at Edna there. That would have been me if I would do that now.
No, we were like Edna Mode, like 9 o'clock, whatever, and sometimes we like couldn't even get it out. We'd be like dying. No, I mean like not like a whole lot of like young girls. I mean some of the young girls, need to wear a little bit more clothing. We saw an old dude wearing like reflective aviators. Shorts so short they should have been on a teenage girl. Knee-high tube socks and like this electric Hawaiian button-down shirt that was like tucked in the front but not in the back, and like the worst toupee you've seen in your life. Just walking through downtown Disney like he was hot, you know what.
Okay, ladies and queens. So to get back on track.
Guess what we're going next week? Not next week, but the following week.
Oh, that's right.
Ooh. Yeah.
You put up a really cute picture. They don't know what the picture says, right?
No, I photoshopped that. They were holding up a blank board.
And it said,
You can say it because they can hear me.
"We're going to Disney and don't know it."
Yeah.
It was so cute.
Yeah. They don't understand that you don't go on an airplane for a ride. They've been convinced that you can just go to the airport and go get a ride. And so we're going to go, tell them we're going to have lunch at IKEA, which is next to the airport. When we get there, we're going to say, oh, by the way, we're not doing that. We're going to go for a ride. And then when we get there, we're going to tell them, oh, actually, we're going to there. And it's just gonna be one thing after another. So
That's
Are you gonna
awesome.
vlog it?
yes.
I cannot wait to see that. That's gonna be so awesome.
Oh, they're gonna be really excited. So it'll be interesting because I'm like still getting over the whole vlogging in public thing.
Oh, yeah, I hear you on that. Jenny has no problem. She's in the museum just like, yeah,
Sure
we're
did.
good. And I'm like, I
How do you
don't.
get over videoing other people? That's where I get uncomfortable.
Like,
Doing
what do you
other
mean?
people's
Like, if
business.
they just happen to be in the shot you want to take,
Yeah, yeah.
just do it. If they don't want to, if they don't want to be in it, they'll just slide over. Because I sure did. We went to this. We live in a big military community, so I was walking around with my little camera. It was a brand new camera. I'm like, guys, look at my camera. And like Ashley was on the other side of the building pretty much, and I'm like just do. And like, hey, if you don't want to be in it, either move over or say, hey, whatever that's for, take me out. I'll blur your face. I don't care.
He's not lying. No joke though, when everybody goes out in public, the great thing about being friends with Jenny is that her little circle of friends just like welcomes everyone in like instantaneously. It's lovely. So like it's like an army of strollers. It's like when
The
we went
mommy
out to lunch.
brigade.
Yeah, we went out to lunch the last time that we went out. Like the people in the restaurant were looking at us like, "Oh, there's more. Oh, they just keep coming." We were like,
We all had a stroller, and they asked if we were a club.
"Yeah."
Like, no, we're just moms.
The Jenny Club.
Get back to your pizza. Okay. Pepper, did
Okay,
you say
so-
what your goal was?
So my goal, actually, honestly, I don't feel like doing a weight goal at this point in my time, like in my life, because of everything else that's going on. But one of my goals right now is to just start getting my workouts back in. That's like my big focus. So not even, I'd like to start looking at like tracking my food again, but I think I just want to look at the portions that I'm eating and watch that. So I think those are my two big things right now.
And
I
those are all doable. Everything all of you said is doable.
You know, you have points in your life where you start over focusing, and I just can't over focus on it right now.
But you know what? Like those, like what they call like non-scale victories or whatever from my Weight Watcher days, like those are just as important, if not more important.
Yeah.
Those are when you're really making the big, like long-term changes. And, you know, like it's better to make like, you know, steps at a time and just say, I know I'll do that at some point, but right now I want to focus on this. That I think is a really good way to go.
Yeah, because I think sometimes when we try to make things easy on ourselves, we end up complicating it instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kara, did you say what yours was?
I did, just feeling comfortable by May for Disneyland pictures.
Oh, yeah.
But do you mind if I read Mandy's from Twitter?
No,
Yes.
go ahead, please.
All right, Mandy's short-term goals are weight loss goals met by April 10th, July 15th, and September 8th, and keep making good food choices. Good for you, girl.
Those are really good ones.
Yeah.
I think, last night I had a dream that I was in a bikini, and I don't even know where I was going, but I was just walking around in a bikini. I was like, dang, I look so good. My stomach is flat as you know what. Like, this is awesome. And I woke up thinking that's what I look like, and I don't, but, like, that's what my goal is. Like, it's not necessarily a weight thing, but I want to, like, look in the mirror and be like, oh, snap, girl, you are getting it.
This,
One
Jenny.
thing-
have
Way
that
to go.
feeling of confidence.
One thing I want to do, and I posted this on Instagram, I think, is we've never taken family pictures with Leilani since we've had her, and I want to take some this summer. And I want to be in my shorts and a nice, no like sleeveless shirt or whatever, and I want to have some nice definition, and I want to look back and be like, wow, look at all my hard work. I did an awesome job.
Yeah, that's an awesome goal.
Did you see my blog post about that?
No.
It's actually an old blog post that I re-brought back. It talks about how moms need to be in the photo more.
Yes.
Yes.
And I made that.
I
I
love
made a
that.
big thing about right when I was doing the whole weight loss thing in 2011. I decided I wanted to be in more photos, and it was really cool when I was redoing it. I pulled up all my photos of me from like Facebook, because there's like a website you can go on and you can pull up all of your Facebook photos. And I went through and found all mine, and it shows like all my progress and stuff, but it also shows progress in my confidence of being in the photos. Like you can see, like I have a lot more photos now than I did then. And but one of my things about it was that I realized, I think Zane was too, and I had Zarek, and I realized that I had a zillion pictures of Zane, but I only had a couple with me and him. And I realized like those photos are going to be so important to them later on that no matter how much I want to hate them and burn them and delete them, because I know you have those photos on your computer, right? So you're like, delete, delete. Your kids don't see all the things that you hate about that photo. They see you, and at some point that may be the only thing they have left. So it's really important to be in those photos, no matter how you feel.
I love that. You'll have to send me the link so I can post it in the description box, because that's a great point for all moms. Like, stop being behind the camera, get out in front of it.
Yeah, I definitely want to.
I had an epiphany, so I had to do a photo for a blog post, and it had to be of me, and I totally missed the time when my husband could do it, so I gave my DSLR to my 7-year-old, which was his first time ever doing it, to take a photo of me. And you can actually see it. It's this photo that's on my thing, on my profile. And I love that photo. And it's not even, I realized, because I was like, I just love this photo. I'm going to put it up everywhere. And I realized it's not because it's a good photo of me. It's because I feel like that's how he sees me.
I love that.
That's awesome.
You have to remember how they see you, because that's the most important thing. No matter what weight you are, no matter what, you see all those struggles that you go through and stuff, and all, you can see pain in photos and stuff, but they're going to see memories. And maybe not even a memory of that time.
I'm speechless. You're so wonderful. Tanisha emailed me because she wanted me to share her progress as well. She is working on the 21-day clean eating challenge, and she's feeling really good about it. And she said, my reward toward myself is feeling healthy and getting off of some of the meds that she is on. So that is a good goal too. I mean, like, think of how dependent we can sometimes get on medication, and if we just change our bad habits, we may not even need that stuff anymore. But we have gone over a little bit, and I'm sorry to you ladies and to everybody watching that we did that. But we had a couple more things I wanted to talk about tonight, but just because we went over, I'm not going to do it. We'll just have that roll into next month. But do you guys have anything you wanted to add to what we talked about tonight?
I just want to give a little shout out to both Tanisha and Mandy and thanking them for participating, as viewers versus, being co-hosts and stuff like that. That, like, we've been looking for that and really craving that as we've been doing these hangouts, and it's just really awesome to, like, go on Twitter and there'll actually be stuff on the hashtag this time. I love it.
I love the interaction. It's like, you want to be this motivation and this inspiration for somebody, but it's like, can they really hear me? Are they listening? Do they see what I'm talking about, or are they even here? And it's like, because it's on my channel, I can see the viewer count, and I just can't stop staring at it. We've had some good viewers, like a good viewer count. So just know that whatever you guys are saying, you guys are impacting people. You guys are doing some great things and being positive role models for people. And I'm talking to you, my little YouTubers. Don't ever
Thank
doubt.
you, Jenny.
Don't ever doubt it. We should never doubt ourselves anymore. And you know, I had a really rough past 2 days, and I kind of was dreading tonight because I was like, you know, I'm in such a crummy mood. I don't know how. Believe it or not, I do get in crummy moods. I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to be a positive person. Like, I don't feel like smiling. But then it's like I get on and I see y'all's faces and all the interactions. Like, I could talk all night, which I won't, but I could.
Yeah, and I just want to thank you chubbers too, and also everyone who's watching, because yeah, right now I just really need the accountability. If I wasn't connected, I would just go eat, you know, all the chocolate. So thanks everybody. It really means a lot to be here and to have the support.
Awesome. Well, thank you again, ladies, for being here. Tell everybody one more time where they can find you all over the internet.
So you can find me at the Eagle's Nest on YouTube. I have a custom link, whatever now, but I never remember it. Twitter at the Eagles, and Facebook and Instagram, and also don't forget on MyFitnessPal. I post there every single day. If you want to follow, like, tracking, my sister's on there and like following me now, so that's giving me extra accountability and stuff like that. So I don't know. I want to see other people posting. You know, it helps me keep accountable for, like, it says how many days in a row I've tracked, and kind of like, you know, she posts stuff there too. And when I see her post, she burned 590 calories at Body Pump tonight, I'm like, I need to go work out.
Kara, where can we find you?
I am on Kara's Quick Tips here on YouTube, and Kara's Quick Tips on Facebook, Twitter, and a blog, Kara's Quick Tips blogspot.com. So
Very cool. Yep.
So my blog is pepperscraps.com, and I'm pepperscraps on YouTube and Facebook, but on Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, I'm Unicorn Beauty.
Ooh.
And on MyFitnessPal, I believe I'm Unicorn Beauty as well.
I love that. And I am being Jenny Marie everywhere, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And I also have a support group, an online support group. It's a private, closed group called The Fit Road with Being Jenny Marie. And it's just all about basically, you know, what we do tonight. We just talk and we support each other. And we have recipes and tips and good little tricks. So Being Jenny Marie everywhere. And then the group is The Fit Road with Jenny Marie, Being Jenny Marie. So thank you again so much, everybody, for watching. Thank you, YouTubers, for being here. And thank you for taking the time out. I'm sorry we went over a little bit. But we'll see everybody next month. I don't know what the topic's going to be, so y'all will have to stay tuned. But we're going to have an Evite thingies. Oh, and ladies, don't forget, too, we need to get better about those hashtags. Because I don't know about y'all, but Mandy's got me pumped about using the hashtag. Because she did awesome with the Twitter party tonight.
yeah.
So if you've got any input, any questions, anything to say between now and our next hangout, which is usually the third Thursday of every month, use the hashtag YouTubers, and we will see it. So thank you to everyone that commented, to watch us, took time out. We just love you, and I'm rambling again, so I'm just going to say goodbye.